Country music superstar Carrie Underwood just secured a staggering billion-dollar legal victory against one of daytime television's most controversial talk shows, The View. And the fallout is nothing short of explosive. This case didn't just expose cracks in Hollywood's media machine, it shattered them completely. And to think, it all started with a single performance that placed Underwood directly in the line of fire. After performing at Donald Trump's second inauguration, Underwood became the target of relentless criticism from The View's most outspoken hosts, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin. But instead of staying silent, she fought back, launching a lawsuit that uncovered shocking truths about how the media treats public figures. Now, ABC and The View are in full-blown crisis mode, scrambling to contain the damage. With $1 billion on the line and a verdict that could reshape the television industry forever, one question remains: how did Carrie Underwood turn the tables and make history? Let's break it all down.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are.
What should have been a simple patriotic performance quickly spiraled into a national controversy. Taking the stage at Trump's second inauguration, Underwood delivered a stirring rendition of America the Beautiful before a deeply divided nation. While some praised her for staying true to her roots and keeping politics out of her music, others saw her appearance as a direct endorsement of Trump's policies. The backlash was swift, but it was nothing compared to what came next. The very next day, The View wasted no time launching an all-out attack. Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin led the charge, framing her performance as a political statement rather than just a musical appearance. But they didn't stop at criticism. They made it deeply personal. They mocked her intelligence, questioned her values, and insisted that she had irreversibly damaged her career. Their attacks weren't just speculation. The hosts boldly predicted her downfall, claiming that Nashville and Hollywood would turn their backs on her, that fans would boycott her music, and that she had just made the biggest mistake of her career. In a matter of minutes, they turned what should have been a routine performance into a full-fledged scandal, throwing Underwood into a media firestorm she never asked for. At first, Underwood remained silent, but behind the scenes, the impact was already setting in. Sponsors hesitated. Industry insiders whispered. Media outlets followed The View's lead, branding her as controversial. What should have been just another performance had suddenly become a career-defining moment, one that nearly ended it all. But instead of fading into the background, Carrie Underwood made a choice that would change everything. She fought back.
Here is The View link weighing in. I know you were waiting to hear what Whoopi Goldberg had to say, and I have it for you. Take a listen.
I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
Well, people do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
They did what they did. They felt that's what they needed to do, and I got to stand behind them. If I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe they have the same right.
Of course.
And so
That's
I have
true.
to, I have to support.
Of course, she has the right to do it. What an inane point to bring them all together. Like, what? She's saying absolutely nothing.
Carrie Underwood's initial silence wasn't surrender, it was strategy. While The View's hosts continued their relentless public shaming, Underwood watched quietly as the industry shifted around her. Radio stations hesitated to play her music. Brands that once fought for her endorsement deals suddenly backed away. Behind closed doors, music executives whispered about whether she had become too controversial for mainstream success. The narrative The View had pushed wasn't just commentary, it was wildfire, and the damage to her career was becoming undeniable. But this wasn't just about Carrie. This was a much bigger conversation about media influence, bias, and cancel culture. Fans were split. Some stood firmly by her side, while others distanced themselves. A coordinated media takedown designed to destroy a public figure for ratings? Then came the bombshell. Leaked internal emails from ABC executives. These messages, uncovered during the lawsuit, exposed that network higher-ups had actively encouraged the smear campaign against Underwood, not for journalistic integrity, but for engagement and controversy. According to the lawsuit, The View's producers knew that targeting a high-profile, conservative-leaning artist would generate headlines, ignite social media outrage, and drive up their rating. And as these revelations came to light, the conversation changed. This was no longer about Carrie Underwood's so-called mistake. It was about The View's credibility itself. Industry professionals, legal analysts, and even rival talk shows began questioning just how much influence networks should have over public narratives. What started as an attack on Carrie Underwood had spiraled into a full-blown crisis for ABC and The View. As public scrutiny intensified, Underwood was quietly preparing her next move, one that no one saw coming.
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning.
As the media firestorm around Carrie Underwood raged on, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about a celebrity feud. It was a battle over media ethic, cancel culture, and the control of public discourse. What began as quiet industry backlash had erupted into a high-stakes legal showdown, one that would forever reshape the landscape of entertainment and journalism. Carrie Underwood had had enough. After months of silence, she decided to fight back, not just for herself, but for the integrity of the industry she had spent her career building. She filed a defamation lawsuit against The View, directly accusing its hosts and ABC of orchestrating a smear campaign against her. But this lawsuit wasn't just about clearing her name, it was about exposing the deeper issue of media manipulation and cancel culture. In the complaint, Underwood accused The View's hosts of making false and malicious statements that severely damaged her career and reputation. However, the case quickly grew far beyond one celebrity's battle. Underwood's legal team uncovered shocking evidence that The View's producers and ABC executives had actively coordinated efforts to exploit the controversy for ratings and profit. Internal emails and memos revealed that ABC higher-ups had encouraged the public shaming of Underwood, fully aware that it would fuel social media outrage and boost viewership. In the end, it was never about journalism, it was about numbers. As the lawsuit unfolded, even more damning details emerged. Witnesses came forward, exposing how Underwood had been deliberately targeted in a calculated media attack. Her story distorted to serve a larger political agenda, one that thrived on division rather than truth. What started as a celebrity scandal had now transformed into a national debate on media accountability. With each revelation, pressure on ABC and The View mounted. What once seemed like a personal dispute had become a full-scale crisis, raising serious doubts about the integrity of one of America's most influential talk shows. This lawsuit was no longer just about Carrie Underwood's reputation. It had become a symbol of resistance against the toxic power structures that dominate modern media. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting to change the rules of the game. And with every legal victory, it became increasingly clear. This was a battle she was determined to win. So, what do you think about this controversy? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates.